Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance Podcast. I am your host, Isabel Tate, and with me is my co-host,
Ron Tate.
She finally did it. She nailed it.
So much better than me.
Yeah.
That's it. You're doing it every week.
Yeah. Well, because I used to do this every week on my own and never make a mistake. It's your
poor influence.
It's the Ron effect.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yeah, it must be. Welcome, listeners.
Back to the Peak Endurance
for another week.
Yes.
Of wonderful talk and really interesting banter.
Fun banter. Banter shouldn't be interesting. Shouldn't it be fun?
Oh, it should be a little bit of
interesting. Can be interesting too.
Yeah.
I did get a couple of sort of no, the phone. I can go through that in a bit.
Yeah.
Yes. So catch-ups.
Yes, catch-ups. What have we done? Well, we've had a kind of a busy-ish week.
Yes. Have we?
Well,
okay. All right. So I went out on Saturday and I did my long run on the Pat Malone.
That's right.
As we had discussed. And it was hot. It was hot, right? It was hot.
Yes, it was towards the end. Yes, towards the end it was.
Yes, it was hot towards the end. Were you even out there? Do you know?
Well, it wasn't hot when I was.
You went up to One Tree Hill with a cold drink for me. That was Saturday.
That was Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It feels like 6 months ago. I know, Ron, but that was Saturday.
Oh, okay.
It was hot.
Okay, wow.
It was 34 degrees.
It's getting warm then. Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
wasn't that hot? Yeah, no, when you're in an air-conditioned car, it's not that freaking hot, is it?
When I was sitting at home, it wasn't that hot.
Yeah, can I assure you, it was fucking hot. Even when I hopped out of the car, the neighbour went, "Oh my God, you look ruined." Remember?
Yes, that's right.
He said something along those lines.
That's right. So yeah, you went out on your big run. I just did it once again. I think I did about 12.
You ran with me. No, you did 10 because you said you didn't have to do any extra and you just sort of looped back because you went up to the forest road.
Oh, no, that was Sunday.
12 and a half. Yeah.
Saturday, I did a bit of a loop around and made it 12 and a half.
That's right, because I went the Frontry. I can't remember which.
No, we went straight up.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Road.
Yes,
and then I looped back through.
Yes, so yeah, you did 12K. I did 39. Why is everything flashing?
No, that's a bit of concern. If we don't get through this, that's because the power's going to go out because it is a stinking hot day here in Melbourne.
Not that stinking hot. It's not.
It's 41. It's 41 degrees. That's stinking hot.
Back in my day, when I was a child, it was 40 degrees every day, and I had to walk 50 kilometres to school with no shoes through the snow. But when I was a kid, it would be 40 degrees with the sun shining, none of this cloudy shit, for 4 or 5 days straight. Then there'd be a big thunderstorm. Then you would open all the windows, the house would cool down. For 2 days, it'd be cooler. Then it would build up and be 40 degrees again for 4 or 5 days. Of course, that was before global warming and the climate emergency. And we would have that every freaking summer for 3 months.
Yes, but to be fair,
now we have one 40-degree day, and we're all going, "Oh, I'm going to die."
This has been the hottest day in 6 years.
6 whole years. Oh my God, how are we going to survive?
Okay, so
that just goes to show what shit summers we've had. This is the second 40-degree day of the summer.
Yeah. So
seriously,
let me clarify. It is still stinking hot, but perhaps it's not as catastrophic as they're telling us.
No, it's not as catastrophic. It's just everyone's become so soft they don't know what hot weather is anymore. Because back in my day,
because back in your day, you had 41 degrees and it still snowed.
It still snowed. That's right.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, getting back to what we were talking about.
So I went for a run through the 34-degree snow.
Yes.
And
bare feet.
Yeah, bare feet. And it was fucking hard work, and I ran out of water right before the end. So it really ended up being just over 39 Ks because I said, "Go and pick me up from the childcare centre." And
I took pity on you because
you were trying to be a nice husband.
Drove to the top of the hill and was waiting there with a nice bottle of
cold sparkling
water to surprise you at the top of the hill. Only you didn't come to the top of the hill. No. You were down the bottom.
Because I was over that fucking hill.
So
I'd been over it so many times. I was literally over it.
So so then when you actually messaged me.
Yes, I was like, I said 20 minutes to the to the childcare centre because I was 20 minutes away. If I was at the top of the hill, I'd have been half an hour or more.
So yes, I had
especially at the speed I was going at by that stage, because that's another reason I pulled the pin. I was going so slow. I just felt so crappy. And I've kind of worked out why I was feeling crappy. And I got back to the car and I said to you, should I keep going to make it 40K? And you're like,
and I said, go on, you wuss, get out there.
I'll drive behind you. Tooting at you.
the horn to get you to hurry up, because I got places to be.
Yeah, right. You caged to watch the cricket.
Yeah, that's right. I was sick of listening to the cricket on the radio. I wanted to get home and watch it.
That's right. And I just went, do I need to? And you're like, well, do you need to? No, it's just, because I just didn't want to not finish a run again.
But you'd already got your climbing goal.
I was well over my climbing goals, over 2,000 meters.
Yeah.
I'd got 2,000 meters at about 34K.
Yeah.
I'd just been piss farting around
to get up.
And then when I ran out of water, and I was going so slow by that stage because I was so hot, bothered over it, that it felt like it wasn't actually very good training anyway.
Yeah.
And of course, I was feeling a bit blur because I'd been having that nausea that felt like car sickness.
Yes.
And we've worked out why, that it's probably that I was having a many years episode, because I've had another one since much worse.
Yes.
Because then I went out on Wednesday, which was the next 40, with the first 40-degree day, and I went out early, 6:30, not super early. I'm not insane. And I swear to God, every man, woman, and actually mainly men and children. Well, no, Jarrah's an adult now, really, isn't he?
He is. He is, because he's over 18.
Is he over 18?
Pretty sure he is.
Oh, God, I just remember as a 4-year-old. Sorry. Segue, this young guy, the son of some of my friends from mountain biking days, Jarrah Street, look him up. He's an awesome mountain biker, doing really well on the international scene, and such a lovely young guy. And I've seen him a couple of times, and I saw him again with his mates. And it always makes me so happy to see young guys out, not in front of screens, out there mountain biking, and having a good time.
Yeah.
It always makes my day, and they're always so lovely and friendly, and that's what I think. Young people get a bad rap, but they're actually pretty bloody good. Anyway, and I saw them and heaps of trail runners, but all guys. Like I didn't see any other women. It's rare. Not a lot of women run the hills by themselves. Anyway, that's just a by the by. There was just a lot of people trying to get out of the heat. And I was fine. While I was up in the hills, I was fine. Once again, I ran out of water just as I left the hills, and on the roads, it just cooked me, and I was having to stop. I got to the shops, the traffic lights, and I was okay, or I thought I was okay. I mean, I was pretty puffed and not feeling the best, but I didn't even think about buying water. Like, it literally didn't even occur to me, because I was 2.5 Ks from home. I thought I'll just go home. And I got not far from the shops, and I had to stop. Like, I felt like I was going to pass out. It felt like I had a vice on my chest crushing me. I couldn't breathe. I was feeling dizzy, and every 500 meters, I'd stop in the shade, then I'd run again 500 meters. I ended up having to take my singlet top off because I felt like I was so overheating. I mean, and I looked at the temperature, it was 31 degrees. It was not hot. Like, it was hot, but not ridiculous.
Not as hot as it was the next day.
Yeah, no, that was the 40-degree day.
Sorry, not as hot as it was later in the day.
Later in the day, and 30 degrees. I ran all day Saturday and 34 degrees. And I honestly, I had to stop and sit down a few times. I was nearly crying because I was worried I was going to pass out, like literally, and I was getting sort of wobbly on my feet. Got home, had thought, well, I'll just have my drinks and my electrolytes, and and I felt
thinking that you were dehydrated and heat stroke.
And I was generally okay, but then I started to feel a bit wobbly, like with the many airs. I get tilty. It's not dizzy. People think it's vertigo and it's dizzy. It's not. It's like things are tilting on the planes, like left to right, front to back, and I was starting to get a headache and nauseous, and that's what I'd had after New Year's Eve. And I was thinking it was something to do with something I've eaten. I think I was starting after 2 late nights, because heat and fatigue are triggers for me. And then I had a bad episode after that. You got home, and then I stood up and I went, and I just felt so bad. I had to go lie in bed, and you had to cover me in wet cloths.
It was almost like, when someone has a migraine and they need to take themselves off into a dark room and lie down, and not like with no stimulus around them.
Yep.
It was kind of like that. You had to go into the dark room.
You put the fan on me with the wet cloths.
High wet cloths on your forehead, and
I took my medication.
Took your
because of course I hadn't taken it because I was trying to muscle through. Yes. I thought I'd be all right. But I had to take the medication, and so I took 2 tablets, and then after about half an hour I was all right to get up again. But then like an hour later I took 2 more tablets because I could feel it coming back again, the tilting. And then I was fine the next day. I mean, still a little bit wobbly. Like you don't immediately lose that. But just you get exhausted. So I did my 2 times 6 kilos up Bellevue, but I just took it easy. It was my slowest times ever. I did it more just for the leg strength rather than any sort of fitness gains. And just also because I try to keep my life as normal as possible. I don't want to become like some, I can't do anything, blah, blah. But I have to admit, I was a little bit nervous thinking if I have a full-on episode, how the fuck am I going to get home? Because I won't be able to drive. Like I can't drive when I'm like that. But anyway.
And I wasn't.
No, you weren't there. No, you were at work.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I was down on the.
Oh, yeah, you were down in the peninsula. Yeah. So anyway, I was fine. And there was quite a few people out there, so if something had happened, I'm sure someone would have helped me like that. And they were all nice people because I was like, hello, and they were hello. And, they were all nice people. So that's been my week. It's been a bit shit, actually. I've started seeing that woman about the problems in my life. So that's hopefully going to help. I think that's also been a trigger, the mental stress and strain I've been under. Has not helped. Like that's definitely not helped. So so it's been a bit of a shit week for me. Been kind of on the verge of crying pretty much all the time. Like I could cry now. Like I'm actually holding it in. But I just got my lashes done this morning, and I had to hold in crying there. And it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I've got to, it's just a really hard time for me. So I think that's part of the trigger. But you've had a good week because your injury has sort of settled down.
Yes, mate.
It's not so much an injury, I guess. We should call it a niggle.
It is a niggle.
As much as you've had to not run as much, it's not like you've had to stop running.
No, it hasn't stopped me running. It's just made me change a little bit how I've been approaching it. Just focusing on flat, jiggity jogging, not running, just keeping it nice and easy, making sure I'm not striding out too far, because that seems to
set it off,
makes it sharp pains. Just been taking it a little bit easier. Went out yesterday for a trail run down on the peninsula.
Is it much of a run though, or is it a lot of walking?
Both. It is. It's a lot of stopping and starting, but we actually run between.
And how many kilometers did you end up with?
I ended up doing around 19, I think.
I know, because last week you estimated 20. So pretty much bang on.
Yeah, pretty much bang on. Like I say, because I'm the ribbon man. Because what I was doing was marking the course for 2 days, with 2 other guys, Rowan and Kevin. And we tend to have our set roles that we do while we're out there, and I've got a bag full of ribbons. When you're on the course, if you are doing 2 bays and you see lots of ribbons hanging from the trees, that's me. I'm putting them up there. And I
know, because when we have to take them down, we go, Ron, what did you put them up so high for?
I do like, at times when I haven't been clearing the course as well, I do like to make it a bit of a challenge. So I do have to put the occasional one in a prickle bush, and I do have to put the occasional one up nice and high.
Well, don't worry, you'll be, because when Nikki and I run along, we always go, that's one for Ron, that's for the tall people, not for the short asses. And Nikki's shorter than me.
So I do like to make it a little bit of a challenge for the people clearing the course. So yes, I was out there.
But that's going to be you.
It is this year. That's going to be me. So. And that was obviously on lots of trails with a few hills, not major hills, but a few hills thrown in. And I came through it in the end fine. No issues,
no pain.
No pain. and still running quite comfortably at the end.
So do you feel that the red light therapy has really
I
helped?
think so, yes.
Yeah.
I've been using red light therapy
Once a day.
once or twice a day, depending. Like, it's a bit hard when I'm working.
Oh yeah, when you're working, you can't do it in the morning.
But in the weekends, I've been doing it twice a
Because
day.
of course, to do the red light therapy, he's got to pull his pants
Got to
down.
pull my pants off. Not doing that at work. Not all the time, anyway. Not unless it's on a bet. Yeah, so got to lie down with my pants off, so it makes it a bit awkward. I do share an office with a guy, and I think you might not like that.
You might take umbrage at that.
Yes. So I've been doing that plenty, and I think it's helped. It's, touch wood. We're doing, 50 plus kilometers.
Well, it is 56, but who could be asked running that last hill down into Dramana?
The last K and a half generally gets missed.
Yeah, Nikki and I normally sit at the top while Gully runs down and rings the bell.
Yeah.
And you can sit up there with us too. And sometimes David brings cold drinks there. So,
yeah.
But
that's
it's not
always
going to be hot
optional.
this year.
That last couple of Ks, or the middle couple of Ks is always optional.
Yeah.
And plus, there's always, this year, there'll be someone starting.
Oh, that's right.
At the
starting.
Turnaround point. So
he can run up.
He can run up.
Gully will still run down. Gully likes to ring the bell.
But sometimes they set that, the person that's starting at Dramana, if we're running behind time towards Dramana, they'll set that person off at the cutoff time.
Yeah.
And then they'll
just. It's not normally someone that starts at Dramana. It's only.
It happened last time.
I did it once because I was injured and I couldn't do the full 56, so I just did 28. So I started at Dramana.
The last time we swept it, someone did that, and they met us just inside the trail. Like
I don't remember.
Yeah, they were coming just into the trail when we got there, so we just turned around with them.
Okay, I don't remember.
I think actually Gully might have still gone down and then caught us back up
because
again.
he likes to do the bell.
Yeah, but we didn't feel the need to do
that. No.
So
50 Ks is enough. Yeah. We don't need to do, or 53 Ks is enough. We don't need to do 56.
That's right. So that's what we'll be doing on Sunday.
Yep.
Nice day out.
Yes, and we've got our lays and all the fancy gear. I'll be wearing my hot pink skirt, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun in the not sun.
Yeah, that's right. It's going
to be 16 degrees.
Cool day after the hot weather we've had. It's going to be a nice cold one.
Such a pity. It's it's a summer's
summer area. It's good, and the area is good in summer. Although, having said that, if we encountered the groups that we encountered yesterday during the race, there would be major issues.
Yeah, so when Ron went down there was heaps of ferry tourists.
As we got closer to the Cape Shank end, where the lighthouse is, we were encountering some big groups.
And it's single tracky there.
Yeah, so it's single track, and there were groups of 10 or more along the trail. Getting past them was, tricky, but then we'd get past them and then we'd have to stop to put down a marker or something, and then they'd go back past us again, so we'd have to pass them again.
I remember one year, I don't know if you were there, when Nikki and I were sweeping, we came through that section and there was this big group of these young Jewish guys, like
Rowan was actually
the traditional ones.
Yes,
yeah.
Rowan was actually telling me about
it. And they created they put their hands up and they cheered for us. They made a little tunnel for us to run through. So we run through going,
He was telling me that
the Hasidic, is it Hasidic too?
Yes, they had turned up in a big group.
Yeah.
And luckily the people at the aid station there at the road crossing said, can you just not go in such a big group, just
break it up.
Yeah, break yourselves up a bit so that you're not forming such a big group, because you're going to have a lot of people trying to pass you. And they were wonderful. They were happy to do that.
And these young guys were so lovely, making this big tunnel for Nikki and I to run through, and they were cheering us. And I mean, we were the sweeps. We weren't racing, but it was, I just had that as a really good memory. It was a really fun memory. So
so that was yesterday.
All I'm saying is, even if there is crowd, sometimes they can get into the spirit of things too.
Yeah, and certainly the people were happy to let us past and asking us what we were doing, and so it was not, it was always good.
They didn't go, this is not ecological.
No, they did not. They didn't start taking it down behind us. Well, assuming they didn't.
Yeah, that happened. I'm sure, I don't know if people remember, but that happened when in Austria. Someone was demarking the course as we were running it because it wasn't ecological.
Yes, they thought that the plastic bunting was there to stay, so they were taking it down for us in the middle of the race. Oh dear.
Yeah, that was a hot day. Woo!
But it's
hotter than here.
Yeah.
It's hotter than this. Far right. We're pathetic. For
But
Australians, we're pathetic.
yeah.
Sorry.
Thankfully, we will have someone running the course very early on Sunday morning, because we had to actually do it. Normally we would be doing it today, marking the course, but because of the weather today, we decided to do it yesterday, a day early. Which not only is it very windy today, which might blow some ribbons off trees and things, but there'll be lots of foot traffic. So
and I've heard that excuse before about the wind blowing the ribbons off, aka GSER 2019, and me getting lost. And you were the person marking the course.
I think I had a valid reason, because it was very windy, and that was at the top of mountains.
You're always blaming the wind. I know what the common denominator is.
The wind, yeah.
You.
No, the wind.
You.
So yeah, hopefully they'll make sure the course is still fully marked. There has been a few instances of course tampering.
Yeah, well,
down
there's always a smart ass somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah. So hopefully it's not too bad. Most of it's fairly remote, so no one really goes there.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're just walkers, and they're there for walking, not for causing trouble.
Not teenagers,
But yeah, that last.
To be fair, I can imagine myself as a teenager tampering with it. Like, would you tell me you wouldn't have done that as a teenager?
Never.
No, of course not. Yeah, right. I know 100% as teenagers, me and my friends would have done that and thought it was hilarious. Just saying.
Yes, that last 5-6 Ks gets a lot of foot traffic. So hopefully it's still all there, mostly all there.
Yeah.
So that'll be us this weekend.
Yes, that's right. So once again, we said it last time, but if you're there and you see us, say howdy doody.
That's right. Well, we will be there at the start of the race
and at the end.
And at the end. So yes, if you do see us, say hello.
Yep. All right, Tio. So should we get on to the meat and potatoes, or was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Was there anything else?
No, I think that's covered our week.
We'll talk about comments later.
So what are we talking about today?
Expectations. So we're talking about having the right expectations for your running. Now, when we're talking about expectations, we're not saying, oh, you've got to lower your standards. It's not about standards. It's about aligning your goals with reality.
Yes.
Okay? That's what we're talking about, so that you get the most out of your training and your racing. So a lot of runners go into events and their training with expectations that are disconnected from their life, from the environment, and from their current capabilities. And I'm not just talking their fitness capabilities, I'm talking their life capabilities. So what we want to do in this episode is help people understand that it's okay to be realistic. Being unrealistic and having unrealistic expectations doesn't make you hardcore. It makes you, I don't want to say it, a dum-dum.
There's nothing more annoying than listening or reading about someone, they've entered a race, and then at the bottom they go, oh, I probably should have trained for it.
Oh,
I don't want to hear that, because not only does it demean everyone that actually entered the race and trained for it.
Yes, exactly.
But it's actually a poor representation of yourself.
Yeah. And we don't want ultra running to be about people who destroy their body by not training and destroying it in a long race.
Yeah.
Like, be serious about it. I mean, I don't understand people who don't train for a race when you spend so much money to enter a race.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah, like I know when I started that 12 and 12, and I said, oh, I haven't trained for this, the 100K. What I meant was I haven't trained specifically for this 100K. I had not stopped training. I was training.
Yeah.
So that's why I was able to finish. And I actually finished like 2 weeks apart. I finished them. We came second in the first one. Yeah. And in the second one, I still did a decent time. Like, I did 18 hours with, over 5,000 meters climbing in a week after my first 100K, after not training. But when I say not training, I mean not training specifically for 100Ks, and definitely not for that amount of hills.
Yeah.
But I had been training because I never stopped training.
That's right.
I mean, I have breaks where I do less and do cross training, but I never actually stopped training.
Yeah.
So when I say, oh, I didn't train, I mean,
Yeah,
I
but-
trained, it just wasn't specific for that actual race.
Like at the moment, you're training specifically for your
Yeah, I'm
races.
training specifically for my races.
Yeah,
Whereas I did those without training. That's what I should have
Yeah.
maybe said, to be clearer. I haven't trained specifically for this.
Yeah.
Of course, I've trained. I would never, ever, ever do a race without training, ever. I would
Yeah.
just would not do it.
yeah,
Like, I think it's disrespectful to the race directors as well as disrespectful to the other competitors.
Yes. That's right. So, what are some of the things that, or what? Sorry, not what. Why should expectations matter more than motivation?
Yeah. So, you can be really, but I'm motivated to do this. I'm really motivated to do this 100-miler. But then you've got to look at it that motivation comes and goes. Expectations are what drive your behavior every day. And unrealistic expectations, if you don't live up to it, creates guilt or burnout because you do too much, or guilt because you don't do enough.
Yeah.
Right? And having appropriate expectations enable you or make you become consistent, give you confidence, and enable longevity in the sport.
Yeah, and motivation is not a permanent thing.
No.
It comes and goes.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, depending on what you weight, depending on
your mood,
whether
how much sleep you got.
Yeah, whether the kids have been good or bad.
Yeah.
It's so fleeting that you just can't rely on motivation.
No. And having expectations isn't about settling. It's about choosing the right target. It's about having the right goal.
That's right. And it can actually, create more goals in that if you're only going to do the things that you have the time to do, you might actually start being able to create more time to do those things rather than going into them saying, I'll just do what I can.
Oh, I see.
You might rearrange your life to the point where it creates more time to do the goals that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And that's what's called looking after yourself properly and putting yourself,
first. Well, yes, to be fair, like, who doesn't put themselves first? Everyone go, oh no, I put my family first. You actually need to put yourself first, because it's like putting on the mask on the airplane. If you don't put yourself first, you've got nothing to give your family anyway.
That's true.
Putting your family first means you end up sick and horribly depressed and shit. And then how much good are you for your family? You're not good. You're not. You need to put yourself first. And in that way, you're actually putting your family first. Mm-hmm. Right? So I disagree with, oh no, I'm not putting myself first. Bullshit. You should put yourself first.
Yeah.
You are the most important person. You are the person you have to live with for the rest of your life, long after the kids have left home. So put yourself first, and in that way, you will be able to give your best self to your kids, your best self to your partner. I'm not talking about being a selfish prat. I'm just talking about putting some of your needs first and not always deferring to everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about time expectations. I come across so many athletes who want to train for these massive races, but when I talk to them about their lives, it's like, holy moly, you're working 60 hours a week, you've got 3 young children. Now is not the time to train for a 200-miler. This is not I'm making this up, okay?
Yeah.
This is slightly worse than anything I've heard, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like, seriously, that is not the time to train for a 200-miler. How about if you're working those kind of hours and you've got a few small young children, a 50-miler, a 50K, max 100K. I think with that lifestyle, max 100K.
Yeah. Because you still, for 100K, you still got to dedicate a few
you need to be training 5 to 6 days. I mean, personally, I think 6 days. 6 days a week. You still got to do a long run. Yeah. You still need to do strength work. You definitely need to be doing mobility work. Yeah. So where are you going to find the time?
And that's being realistic.
That's being realistic. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So,
but there's many things, and this is what you need to consider. There's many things that can take up your time. Children, not only, having to provide for them, but having to
care for them.
You've got a sick mother, father that you
Yeah,
need to care
elderly
for.
parents.
Yep.
Yep.
Wife or husband.
Yeah.
You know, you just need to be realistic about how much time you can actually put towards training.
Because
On a regular
otherwise,
basis.
what will happen is you will destroy relationships.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're not here for that. So, yes, you've got to put yourself first, but you've got to take the others into consideration. I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to train for that miler. They'll just have to fit in around me. Well, I'm sorry, young kids don't work that way,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
So yes, you put yourself first, but within reason. Within reason. Okay.
Yep.
You can't train like a professional with an amateur life.
That's right. And that's the other thing you need to understand is if you do have plenty of time, if you do have, a couple of hours a day every day, you're not actually going to be able to spend all that time training. You know, you break down, overtraining, injury. So still, even if you do have some time, you're not going to be able to spend all that time training. And that's, I think, we come across a lot of people who, if they're not running, they're going out and doing, a super hard spin class or a, lots of other cross training when they should be resting.
Yeah.
Just because you've got time to train doesn't mean you actually should train.
Yes.
So,
but for the people who are just managing to squeeze in all this training, you've got to remember it's not just the training that takes up the time. Recovery takes time. If you train, then you go, oh yeah, but then, I get home I got up at 4 on Saturday morning. I ran from 5 till 10, got home, then I've got the whole day with the kids. But if that whole day with the kids is you lying on the couch drooling because you're so exhausted, then that's not time with the kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you've got to understand that it's not just the training time you're thinking about, it's what energy you have, the recovery you've got, the headspace. If you're snapping at the kids because you're so exhausted from all the training, or they want to go and play footy in the backyard, but you're so sore from all this running that you can't, then that's unsustainable too.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about the training time, we're talking about the impact it has on the rest of your life, energy, recovery, headspace, those sorts of things. Right? So, that's why, a miler requires a very different time and recovery commitment than a 50K. So maybe a 50K would be better.
Yeah.
And master that first. You're scrolling so fast while I'm reading.
You've read that already.
Yes, I know. Okay. So you need to think about what does enough training look like for this season of my life? But then not just the training, but think about the things like, how exhausted am I going to be? What other, physical commitments do I have? Am I coaching my daughter's basketball team? Do I need to be physically able to get up and walk around the court? Those sorts of things. The outside of the court, obviously, I'm talking about.
Yes.
Am I going to be able to show them if I'm coaching how to do some of the moves, or am I going to be so sore on my knees aching I can't do anything? Or am I going to be in a meeting at work falling asleep because I got up at 2 a.m. to fit my run in? Or sitting at work all day dreading that 4-hour run I've got as soon as I finish work. You've got to take all of that into account, not just the actual training hours. There's more to it than the actual training hours, and that needs to be taken into consideration as well.
Yep.
So best sorry, were you going to say that?
You go on.
The best plan is the one you can actually execute consistently, not for the first 2 weeks and then you die on your ass. Not the most impressive one on paper. Whoa, that looks so awesome. I'm so hardcore. I'm going to be like Goggins when I get this done. And then you just can't do it because you either break down, or you mentally break down, or your family kicks you out, or your job fires you.
Yeah. So in other words, just because you see Goggins like people going out and smashing out 120 kilometers a week, if you've only been doing 40 kilometers
Thank you. Am I Goggins like?
You are. If you've only been averaging 40 to 50 kilometers a week, going out and smashing out 120 kilometers will then mean that you probably won't be able to run for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, which might be better for your timetable at work, but
that's not great for your training.
Yeah.
So you need that's the other thing, when you see a race and sign up for it, you need to actually go, well, am I leaving myself enough time to train and to build up to this? If you sign up for a 100-kilometer race and you're averaging 30 to 40 kilometers and you've signed up for a race in 2 months, chances are you're not going to be able to build up.
No, you really need 3 to 4 months of a specific build. I'm not talking about training. I'm talking about a specific build.
Yeah.
You need to have been training before the specific build. But I would say 4 months for a specific build to a race is the minimum. And before that, you'll have done training.
Yeah.
You've trained to be able to do the build. Yeah. You don't go, I'm not going to train until 4 months. I'll just run 2 to 3 times a week and then I'll start training 4 months out. No. The 4 months is when the specific training happens. Before that, you should be having a good base. Like if you're going to be training for 100K, I would think personally to have a minimum base of 80Ks a week before you start the build.
Yeah.
You don't build into that.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, so geographical environmental expectations.
Yeah, so it's not just one thing to be able to have the time to put into your training. You actually need to train specifically for the race that you're doing. No use running on the flat, all for the next month when you've got a mountain run.
Yeah.
Same the opposite way. No use spending all your time in the hills if your next race is a flat road marathon.
And saying, oh, but it'll make me strong. Yeah, it'll make you strong, but it'll also make you slow.
Yeah, that's right.
And, I always say if you're training for a mountain ultra, and we said it, I think, in that mountain ultra one, you need to train on the flats to keep your leg speed. And I've always said that training on the flat makes you strong in the hills because the fitter you are, the better you're going to be in the hills. But ultimately, the best way to get good at hills is to run hills.
Yeah.
And if I, fingers crossed, get into Tour de Gironde, training on the flats is not going to make me able to climb hills in the Dolomites. No. Right? So, you need to take that into consideration. Also, let's say Listerfield, where it's trails, but it's really fire roads and very non-technical. If you've got a super duper technical race, that's not going to be that good either.
Yeah.
So you need to think about these things. What are my expectations? How am I going to go if this trail that I'm going to be racing on is, an ankle breaker and, then going, but only able to train on flat trail roads. So that's when you need to go, have I got the time to go and drive to different trails to find technical areas? I'm not saying that you can't train for these things if you don't have the environment. You just have to set time aside to do different things to, train for it.
Yeah. To complement your training towards, what you're going to encounter in race day.
Because you can't fully fake terrain, even though we've talked about, doing step ups and step downs to get ready for hills and all that. That's still, as good as that is, in a Stairmaster and hiking on a treadmill hill, it's not the same as running in the mountains like we spoke about last week.
No, that's right. It's the best you can do without, actually getting out there, but it doesn't replace getting out there.
No, it absolutely doesn't.
Yeah. So the other, I guess, key point is also shifting your goal from podium, or times that will put you on the podium, to actually times that you can realistically achieve with the training that you're putting in.
And we know not a lot of people think of the podium, but a lot of people have an unrealistic expectation of how fast they're going to go.
That's right. And you need to actually look at the race or the previous races, see what times people are doing, and then maybe, create a goal based on that.
If we get in, that's what we were talking about next. What I used to do, a lot of the race directors, I don't know if they do it much anymore, used to put out times. This is what a slow racer will get to all the aid stations at. This is what a medium racer will get to all the aid stations at. And this is what a fast racer will get to all the aid stations at. And that's what they did when I did my first North Face 100. And I went through that and I put myself around medium because I had no freaking clue because I'd never done 100K before. But I knew I wasn't slow. Like I'd won a few races. So I knew I wasn't, but I didn't expect to be up the front winning. So I sort of put myself as faster medium, right? Mm-hmm. And I actually ended up being faster than my expectations. But at least I had realistic expectations. Yep. I didn't go in there going, oh, I'm going to knock this over in 10 hours.
Yeah.
I actually went in there thinking around, I wanted to get under 14. So, I came in an hour and 20 minutes faster. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Over 100K. That's
Yeah.
pretty close to what so I had, considering I'd never done 100K before, I had realistic expectations of what I was capable of. But you see so many people, they just pluck a number out. They haven't looked at anything. They haven't looked at other finish times, like you say. They haven't looked at perhaps the elevation profile, what it looks like. They go, oh, it's got 1,200 meters climbing, but they haven't seen that it's all in one hill in the first 5K or whatever. You know what? I'm just making shit up now. But, you've got to look at it and think about it. Or, they go, I want to do this time, but it's in a race where it's always really hot and they don't like the heat.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
That's right. And also, like you just touched on, the profile of the race, a race that has 3,000 meters of climbing over 100 kilometers can be very different to the next race that has 3,000 meters. Is it all in one climb? Is it in 5 climbs?
You look at Ultra Adelaide. That was a race where you go, oh, it hasn't got that much vert. No, it's got some really massive climbs because all the vert is in like 10Ks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Really freaking steep climbs. They're horrible.
It was 160 kilometers and all the climbs were within
15,
between 100 kilometers and 120 kilometers.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
So it was really steep and it was really hard and definitely makes you question your life choices. And I'm good at hills and I find it hard.
But also, if you haven't looked at the course profile, you'd be running along in the first half going, this is great. Oh, I'm going super fast. And you get to the hills and you're like, oh, I actually can't do this now because I've been running too fast on all
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So, writing checks your body can't afford.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we nailed that.
You actually practiced that one.
Because I always get it wrong. I often do that.
Writing bodies check kind of. No, that's not right.
Yeah, I just couldn't figure it out the other day. Okay. Also, if we could, these people who sprint off the start line, like you say, expecting to run a pace they've never done in training. Like I see that a lot at races. Or we do, and we even see it on YouTube. We've discussed this.
That regularly on YouTube.
These people running off the start line. You're like, oh, they're going to crash and burn. But they're so confident with the pace. Yeah. And we see it all the time, and not just on YouTube, but in real life too. And it's like...
and it's generally tends to be people who are jumping up large increases.
Yeah.
They go out to do whether it's 100K or a 100-miler. They've only run a 50K or 50-miler before, and they head off in that same pace.
Yeah.
And then wonder why once they get to 50 miles or 50K.
Winning the race until I crashed and burned.
I was on my race pace until then.
Until then. But that clearly wasn't your race pace, was it? It was a race pace you made up. It was called hope. Yes. And hope is not a strategy.
No. So look at the race profile. Look at, just know what
just know that 100K is not twice as hard as a 50K.
No.
I was saying that to someone the other day. It's like 1.3 times as hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just 1 times as hard. Yeah. It's at least 1.3 times as hard as a 50K. So don't expect to be able to go, oh, well, it's just like doing a 50K twice. No, it's way harder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, anyone who's, done 100K and wants to move up to the 100-mile, the idea of doing 100K and then going, right, I'm going to do another 60 kilometers.
That's your worst nightmare.
That's why I've never done a miler, because I get to the end of 100K and I couldn't imagine doing another 60.
Yeah.
And, I've got to the end of a 100K race and gone, oh, that wasn't, so bad.
Pretty horrendous.
But yeah, the thought of doing another 60
doesn't fill you with joy.
It doesn't fill me with joy or intrigue or anything like
curiosity.
that.
No curiosity there.
Curiosity.
Yeah, you can't expect race day to magically unlock fitness and paces that you haven't built.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're just not ready for a certain pace. You're just not.
Yeah.
And fitness doesn't magically appear on race day. What appears on race day or what is revealed on race day is the fitness and the stamina you have built. And if your training's been inconsistent because you didn't actually have the time to train or the inclination because you're waiting for the motivation fairies to come along and they didn't, surprise, surprise. So, experience also matters. Like you can't go on to your first 100K and expect to do awesome.
Yeah. And something that you also bang on about a lot about
I
is
bang on about a lot of things. What could it be?
Is actually replicating the race
in training.
In training, and not the distance, but the pack. You know, carry your gear. Know how heavy it's going to be. You know, try and find a similar. If you can't get to the actual race course, try and find some similar terrain so you know what to expect.
Yeah.
It's all very important practice. It's not, it's
that
not
helps
just
with
about
the expectations too. It helps you to go, I know what running on this style of train is like. I know what it's going to be like. Like I remember when I did the Jungfrau Marathon, when I was representing Australia at the World Long Distance Mountain Running Championships, big mouthful. And the first 10K, and so you went up a mountain, right? Big Swiss mountain, Jungfrau. And the first 10K though was dead flat. And then bang, the last 32 Ks was climbing, like literally. So my training was, I would do a lot of training on the flat, running fast, and then going up and then having a climb. And so that's what my training was based around, and that's what I would do.
So you actually researched and knew what you were
doing. And this was back in the days when the internet was at its infancy. I got onto Google Earth. I got the course on Google Earth, and I would look at it and that, because there was no YouTube videos of people doing the race, and that sort of stuff. I had, the profile, and I did all that. And I came first Australian woman. I was 10th in the world. And it was freaking awesome. And I had the best time. I mean, it was hard. Don't get me wrong. It was bloody hard. I still remember one of the climbs. I'm like running up at dying. I think I've told this story before. And this guy who was really old, he was at least 60. There am I running up the hill because I don't walk. And he walked past me. And I'm like, fucking fuck.
You taught him a few English.
Yeah, that's right. He was like some Swiss guy or something. He was like, oh, you're dirt and whatever, good luck. And I'm like, ah. And then I walked, but I don't think I walked as fast as him. And which is when I learned that learning to walk is an art form.
Yes.
When he walked past me and I'm running, that's taught me a lesson or two.
Yeah.
Once again, I mean, we're in Australia. It's hard to replicate the Swiss Alps in Australia.
Right. We don't quite have the length and steepness of the climbs they have in Europe.
Yeah, well, I mean, essentially I did a 32-kilometer climb. I mean, obviously there were flat spots when you went through villages and all that sort of stuff, but it was a long bloody climb, let me assure you. And also, the pacing, a sustainable pace, like going off, you see people going off that fast. Do you really think you're going to be able to do that for 100K or 100 miler? Like, really? Like, no, I just don't understand the decisions I see out there at the start of the race. And not necessarily by design, because we know it's my body, but I go out slow at the start and I just pass so many people. Not so many anymore, because I'm not as fast as I used to be in general. But I used to always, even when I'd win races, I would be up the back, as I've always talked about, and I would just end up passing everybody. But you see people, and it's like winning training. Winning the first 5Ks, whoop-de-doo.
No one's going to remember that, only in derision.
Yes, that's right. Did you
see that guy running off the start line like it was a park run?
Yeah, like winning the first 5Ks, even the first 10Ks is not a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Just like winning training. Who cares?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so, have clear expectations and stick to it.
Yeah.
Don't go, oh, yeah, but I was feeling so fresh.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. You tapered for the race. You were supposed to feel fresh so that you would be able to finish the race without death marching. But instead, you burned all that freshness off in the first 20Ks and you death marched it in.
Yeah, you got that burst of adrenaline. You saw those guys running off the start and you thought, oh, I could keep up with them.
You don't know them. You don't know that. Or even if you do, their story is different to your story, and maybe they're going to crash and burn.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. If you run off with those people on the start line, you might have a shared experience in
that's right.
The finish.
Exactly
as well.
Yeah. The only time I sprinted off the start line, was when when my slow down started. I sprinted off the start line at the Yangs because I, for once, wanted to be up the front at the start, and I sprinted, and my hip flexor went twang. I felt it. Something went twang in my hip flexor. I was dragging my leg behind me, hopping down the trail, ended up pulling out, bawling my eyes out, and I've never been able to run the same since. So, yeah, that was one time. And it was like, oh, I know what I'm like, but I knew I was slow at the start. I just thought just once, I just want to give it a crack, see what it's like. Yeah, no, don't.
Didn't work.
No.
Tried it once, didn't work.
No. I should have just known my body and just stuck with it.
Yeah.
All right. So what
are the costs of inappropriate expectation?
A lot. Injury. Hello. See, that was me. Although that wasn't an expectation. That was a last minute decision on the start line that just wanted to see what I could do if I went out a bit harder at the start.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I got injury and DNF.
I was going to say, then you got the next one covered as well.
Yeah, DNF. I had DNF. Yep.
And you see so many people, going too hard at the start. No, full well they're not going to make it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Chronic fatigue, which, is a major deal when you're, not only when you leave your training too late and try and cram it all in, but also if you don't give your body the rest it needs.
And I was actually just reading this book, There Is No Map in Hell, by Steve Brackenshaw, I think that was his name. He did the record on the Wainwrights, right? 214 Wainwrights, whatever, in the UK. And he did the record, and he was awesome, and yay. And then he didn't give himself enough recovery. He thought, 6 weeks or whatever, and he was back racing and doing other stuff. He ended up with chronic fatigue, and he was off racing for a few years.
Yeah.
Right. And this is a guy that, broke broke Joss Naylor's record by like so many hours. Oh. We're watching the neighbor reverse. Oh, geez.
It's just about taking out our bushes.
I'm not too worried about that. I was just worried he was going to reverse into his garage. So, it can happen. And that was because he just wanted to get back to training. So he had an unreal expectation of what his recovery would be like. His recovery probably needed to be way longer.
Yeah. Yep.
You look at Sean Bell. He ran around Australia. He has struggled now for a year or two with issues, and he had a collapsed lung not that long ago, still from recovery, and he probably didn't think it was going to take that long. You've got to respect recovery, or your body will make you.
That's right. The longer you push your body, the more rest you need.
Yeah.
So many times you see these top athletes, pushing race after race after race, and then you just never hear from them again.
Yeah. I've actually was listening to a podcast, and they were saying more, certainly the American athletes are actually respecting recovery more now, and they're not racing as much. They all used to go, oh, I'm going to do Western States and then UTMB. Now they're going, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do UTMB because they're too close together.
Yeah.
And that's never happened before. Normally they try and do all of them, and look at me because Courtney DeWalter's done it. I can do it. And these are still top athletes, and they can't do it.
Yeah.
And so these top athletes are saying no to hard rock, no to Western States because they've got UTMB, and that's because UTMB is on the world stage. That's way more important.
Yeah.
Ruth
Croft?
Ruth Croft who won?
Yes.
Yep. That was her only race for the whole year.
Yep.
And she won it in commanding style.
And that's what we talk about all the time when we talk about A, B, and C races.
Yeah, and I've always said that you should have 2 A races for the year, not 25.
If you've got an A race once a month for the year,
that's not A race. They're B races.
Yeah, they're not going to be A races. You just simply can't perform at your best every month for the year.
Yeah, I mean 2 A races, and yes, you can have some B races. Like I used to do 200Ks a year and do a variety of 50Ks because they were good for training, and all sorts of things. And also I used to like it because I'd see all my friends then. But only 200K races a year. That was it.
Yeah.
But I was obviously a bad example trying to do my 12 and 12. But I
But
wasn't.
you weren't expecting to.
Yeah, you've put your hand up. What do you stop clicking the mouse? You've put the hand up on Zoom. We're going like this.
Are we?
Yes. Oh, lower hand. Click. Oh my God.
I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. Anyway.
Well, you put me in charge of the mouse. So.
Well, that's because you sit on that side because you're on my good ear side. Anyway, appropriate expectations is, 2 A races a year.
Yeah.
If you do only 50K races, you could have 3.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, top marathoners have 2 top A marathons a year.
If you're going to train properly for it, you train.
You need, like I said, 4 months
specifically for it. You taper for it, you race it, and then you recover from it. That's how you do it properly. You don't go into it, maybe have a slightly easier week the week before, do your race, and then 2 days later you're out, smashing out those hills again.
Doing my back at the track.
Yeah.
Doing an easy run at 4:20 pace.
Yeah, that's right. That's not the best way to get you back up and running again, for your next race next month.
No. I mean, to be fair, I'm doing Bogong to Hotham next week. And then I've got, I've got Buffalo not until the end of March. But to me, although I've said I've got time expectation for Bogong to Hotham, I've kind of gone off that idea, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it as a training race now. It was putting too much pressure on me saying that time. So I'm just going to do it it's just training. And yes, I'll push hard because it's training and I want to push hard for it, but I'm not going to smash myself.
Yeah.
And if I'm, and so it's just going to be a good, solid, hard effort, not this is my A race. If it was my A race, I would want to have, a few weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be, take an easy week the week after, but I'm not going to have time off.
And you're not going to do a full, you can't do a full taper.
No, I can't. I'm doing a 56K run. And that's part of the reason why I went, and also we're doing the 24 park runs in 24 hours the week after. So I thought I can't do Bogong as a full effort. I'm just going to, and that's it. I'm tapering my expectations.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just going, based on everything else I've got going on in my life, that would be stupid and irresponsible to try and push this.
Yeah.
Because I've got too much else going on. So I'm just going to go out for a good solid run in the mountains, and we're going to be catching up with friends, and it's going to be fun too.
Yeah.
Right? So most DNFs are expectations failures, not fitness failures. You're going out too hard. You thought you could eat lollies for the whole race,
Or gels. Do a 100K race on
which is kind of the same, but yes, And going out too hard is usually an emotional decision, not a physical one.
Yeah.
And like when I went out hard at that UE's race, I actually had the fitness to go out that hard. I did, but I don't ever have the physical. There's something about my body. I don't have the capacity to go out hard from the gun without, 3-hour warm up kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. So how do we reframe success?
Okay, so you adjust your expectations and you go, right, I'm not going to go for, my 10-hour UTA. I'm going to actually focus on executing my race plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a race plan like this. And what's a race plan? Well, that's about, the effort levels for each. And, okay, when I'm going up this climb, I'm going to focus on using my poles and going as fast and getting into a rhythm and pushing hard when I'm hiking. I'm going to make sure I consume this amount of carbs. I'm going to, when I come into the aid stations, I'm going to smile at the volunteers. I'm going to thank the volunteers. I'm going to be nice to everyone and not yell at my crew because they didn't move fast enough for me, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, adjusting when things go wrong. And you know what? Shit goes wrong in an ultra.
It does.
I have never run an ultra where something hasn't gone wrong.
Yeah.
And when I say gone wrong, it can be as simple as just not feeling right.
You've always said that running in an ultra is as much about problem solving as it is about the work, the fitness and strength.
Yeah, I mean the fitness is a big part of it, but it's seriously not. Like if it was just based on fitness, we would just look at everyone's Garmin and choose the person with the highest VO2. But it's not. And I'm not necessarily in these races that I've done well, I'm not necessarily always the fittest person. I'm the person that just doesn't give up and doesn't slow down when I get tired. Like when I get tired, I keep pushing just as hard. I don't go, oh, I'm tired, I'm just going to back off. I just don't do that.
Yeah.
Right. So and that's not about fitness, that's about grit. So, you know, and so you want to I've lost where you've gone to, like,
No,
I don't know what we were.
I haven't touched it.
So yeah, executing your race plan. Okay. So adjusting when things go wrong. And then, like I said, if you don't go out super fast at the start, you're going to actually finish well and not death march it in. And this is what I'm saying is I finish well because I didn't go like a bat out of hell at the start, like so many people do. It's all fine and well to say, oh, but I was going so well until the wheels fell off. The wheels fell off because you were going too hard.
Yeah.
So you weren't going well.
No, going well.
You were writing checks your body couldn't afford.
Yeah,
Did I get it right?
Means
Couldn't
actually
cash.
pacing yourself properly. Not going well doesn't mean going as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah. Going well is not necessarily about a time, it's about a feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to stay healthy enough also to be able to train again. You don't want to completely ruin your body like this Steve Breckenshaw, I think his name was. God. I just read the book. You know, he's really unwell now. Like he was really worried he'd had some heart problem because he was feeling so bad and all these terrible symptoms. And I know because I've had chronic fatigue. It is absolutely shit. I had it for 16 years and it ain't fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's the thing. Chronic fatigue can hang around for a freaking long time. You don't just go, oh, well, I'll just wait 6 months and I'll be over it. No, your body decides when it's over it.
Yeah.
And certainly for me, my body decided 16 years. So, you know, just be careful.
Yeah, that's right. You know, appropriate expectations protect the future you. So, you know, you're not just worrying about, you know, whether you actually get to this race or not. It's whether you actually get to the next race as well and the race after that. You know, because, you know, we do this sport because we enjoy it. So we want to do it for as long as we can. You know, you don't want to, you're not doing it just for that one time and then you're going to give up and move on to the next thing. Or
maybe you are.
Most people aren't doing it for that.
No,
reason.
but most people we know, and certainly we're not.
Yeah. So, you know, think long term, you know, and train appropriately.
Yep. So, you know, a coach like Peak Endurance Coaching will actually help you with your expectations. And that's, you know, like I have my Zoom calls with my athletes every month. That's some of the things, one of the things, because we talk about many, many things, that we talk about is having realistic expectations. And they come to me saying, is this a realistic expectation? You know, sometimes I'll go, yep, I think that is. Other times I'll go, no, let's talk about this. Let's figure out what would be. And then they go, oh, yeah, and we really discuss it. And yes, and then they come up with a realistic expectation. Because I'm not going to tell them what their expectations are. I just guide them towards more realistic ones.
Yeah.
You know, because I can look at their training with an objective eye and go, right, well, how did this feel? And I can ask them the questions that helps them realize what their expectations should be.
Yeah.
You know, whereas when you're asking yourself, you know, and my athletes want that from me. They want me to help them. They want me to say yes or no.
Yeah.
They know they don't want to go in with unrealistic expectations.
No, that's right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I had an athlete that, you know, who came to me and said, oh, I think my next one I want to do a miler. And my first thought was, he's always busy. You know, he's just started a business.
Yeah.
He has other hobbies that take up a fair amount of time. And I said to him, you know, I laid out the amount of training that he's going to need to do to realistically be able to do a 100-miler. And I said to him, do you really think that you've got that amount of time to put to it? And he goes, oh,
no.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have. And I was like, well,
there you go.
Perhaps we should look at something a little bit smaller.
And he wasn't offended by that. He would have appreciated it.
You know, he was like, oh, yeah, no, when I think about it, probably not.
Because, you know, doing a 100-miler does sound awesome. And you see all the stuff on YouTube and on Instagram. Oh, look at them. Oh, that looks so awesome. I mean, it's, you know, it's... I mean, you've heard the whinging from me when I'm doing a miler, and like, you know, it's not pretty out there. Like it's truly not. It's a sufferfest. It still boggles my mind why I choose to do this crap, because it's an absolute sufferfest, and I want to do 330K. So go figure. But you know, so you want to get the training in so it's less of a sufferfest. But people see it and they think it looks awesome. But yeah, you got to understand it's a lot of work. You can't just because you want to do it doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. Or can.
Or can.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all we really wanted to, talk about. Just, we want to reiterate that we're not saying you shouldn't do it. We're saying that you
need to think about
it and need to understand the effort, the time, and the damage to yourself that it's going to create. And, think about, are you in a situation to do that?
Yeah.
Is your current life circumstances, going to allow you to do it properly and to the best of your ability? Because, I keep saying that, maybe not a miler, but anyone can go out and do 100 Ks, on minimal training, but, it's just going to be miserable and it's just going to suck and you're never going to want to do it again. And
that's sad because we want people to want to do it again.
That's right. So, respect the distance. You're doing it for fun. You're doing it to challenge yourself, but you're doing it, to enjoy yourself too.
Yeah.
And,
and to feel proud of yourself. Like I said last time, like, how can you feel proud of yourself when you've just death marched and you didn't train for it? Like, to me, the pride comes from knowing that I did the best that I could by putting in the hard yards and working hard, I don't know. Anyway, so we had a question about the heat acclimatization podcast on Spotify from Andy Parker. And he said, quick question is, I'm working outside on a 40+ degree day today, which obviously was Wednesday. Yep. Do you think living or working in a hot area can aid in heat acclimation, or do you think you need to be exercising? No, living and working in a hot area, and I did reply to him, does absolutely help with heat acclimatization. Yeah. It is different when you're exercising, like it's hard work, as in it's a different level of climatization, but it definitely does. Like, people who live in a hot environment will definitely find running in a hot environment easier.
Yes, absolutely.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. And Andy is doing the Buffalo 100 too.
Oh, okay.
So we'll
see you there, Andy.
He replied to the mountain ultra training, what actually matters, and he said, good episode, guys. I'm also doing the Buffalo 100. And your info in this pod is invaluable. So if you haven't listened to the Mountain Ultra one, listen to it.
Yep.
Especially if you're doing a mountain race. Now, we had, oh, dearie me, some replies on YouTube. But, I can't remember them. So let me see. That's where you stuffed up the start.
That didn't happen, did it?
No. So Bigfoot Running did say Happy New Year. Yep. Kerry Amore said while we were on the break, she listened to the podcast 6 and 7, Alex and Andre. So Alex Hutchinson, I think it was, and Andre Lagersh, the heart guy. So you can go and look at the Mountain Ultra one to read her comment on that. And someone else left a comment, I can't remember on what now, saying that, I think it was a she, I can't really remember now, that she loved she loved the pod, and I think it was a she, God, I hope so. And loved that we were keeping it real. Oh, I said, if there's one thing we are, it's real.
It's real. Absolutely.
This is not my AI avatar.
No. It's mine.
Yes.
But I need to work.
Yes.
No, we do definitely keep it real.
Yeah. So, so anyway, there we go. That was that.
So, thank you for listening. Hope you've actually learnt something about.
Oh, I also wanted to talk about.
Sorry, we're finished. Oh, okay.
The Ultra Mindset Lab.
Yes.
So, yes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know that you're doing it.
I just wasn't sure if you remembered what I called it. Okay, so I am starting a community of people who want to work on their mindset for ultra running. It will be, what will be involved is you'll sign up and join this community. And I've actually set up like a little community page, not on Facebook. It's like on a whole other thing. This is sounding really shit so far. Basically, what we're doing is every fortnight, a live Zoom where we go over a different aspect of mindset, mental strength training for ultra running. And I will give you a worksheet to work through, or sometimes a couple. I've been writing out the curriculum, a couple of worksheets, homework, those sorts of things. There'll also be time for Q&A. So if you've got particular mental training or mindset questions, that's what we can do there. Obviously, this is not therapy. I'm not talking about therapy. I'm talking about mental strength training for ultra running. And it's to help people become mentally stronger. I say this all the time. You can be as fit as all get out, but if you're not mentally strong, you're screwed, right? I think mental strength is so important and not enough people train it. Well, here's your ability to train it. And if you can't make the live Zooms, even if it's just once you can't make it, there's replays. I'm going to set it up as a course. Like if you join, then you can go back in and look at the old ones and go watch the Zooms, do the worksheets, right? So even if you join once we've been doing this for a few months, you can go back in and do them. But I do recommend doing it from the get-go and joining live as much as possible. You always get more out of this stuff when you do it live.
Yep.
I honestly believe that. Anyway, it's only going to cost $38 a month.
What?
That's chicken feed. When you think I've got to
giving it away.
I literally am, because I've got to pay for Zoom. I've got to pay for that other site where the community is. I'm doing a lot of work for it. So $38 is the minimum I could charge while still actually surviving, right? Of course, if you're a peak endurance coaching athlete, you are getting this for free.
It's all part of the service.
It's all part of it, because I want our athletes, the peak endurance coaching athletes, to be mentally strong for their races too. So if you become a peak endurance, as soon as you become a peak endurance coaching athlete, you get access to this, right? So $38 a month. And yeah, it's going to be wild. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. Like I said, I've been writing the curriculum and I'm really excited. I love the work on mindset, and
it's a passion of yours.
It is a passion of mine. And I personally believe I am mentally strong for racing. Maybe not for other things, but for racing, I am. And you comment on it too.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah. It astounds me every time I see it.
Yeah, it's just basically my mental strength dragging the corpse of a body around while it's kicking and screaming.
Your body gave up 20 kilometers ago, but your mind's going,
you
keep going.
You bitch, you're going. That's right. But so if you're a peak endurance coaching athlete, get excited. If you're not, get excited, because $38 a week, like seriously, you pay more a month. You pay more for bloody coffees.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it's chicken feed. And it'll be starting beginning of February. So
get on it.
Look out for that. I will start posting on Instagram about it. And I'll mention it again next week, because I will hopefully have everything 100% set up so that you can start registering for it from next week.
Excellent.
But yes, it's all happening. And I want to also give peak endurance coaching athletes as much value as possible, because that's what we're here for, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, giving the athletes the best possible service that you can get, because I believe, and I want peak endurance coaching to be the best ultra coaching in Australia.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it is, but I'm biased. So, but yes, so that's that.
Yeah.
All right. All righty. So, send us a review, say hello to us at 2 Bays, and even if you're not one of the cool kids and you're not running at 2 Bays, have a great weekend.
That's right, regardless.
Irregardless.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.